Okay, a quick little video from me this afternoon. I've now been getting savings from our Ripple Energy cooperative wind turbine in southwest Scotland for the last 4 months. So I thought I'd give you a quick update into the savings so far, what our investment was, and what I'm hoping will happen in the future. So let's just begin with some context. Ripple Energy allows people to join a cooperative that funds renewable energy. So hundreds of members of that cooperative pooling resources together to put up a wind turbine. I've invested a fair bit of money now on a monthly basis, but so it's been spread out over a while. And we've been receiving some savings off our electricity bill from the first project to have come online back in June. And it's the first of 3 projects that we've invested in. So let's jump in to the dashboard to see some more. Okay, so this is the Ripple Energy dashboard that you get when you're a member. Before we get into the stats, I think it'd be good to just give some context as to what we bought and how much that is and all that kind of stuff. So Kirk Hill's the only one that is generating so far, and we bought 343 watts in Kirk Hill. This is not a huge amount of power and not a huge amount of that wind farm. We've then gone on to buy some more in the Whitelaw Bray wind farm, and my family name is Bray, but with a Y, so that's one. And then in the Derryl Water Solar Park as well. So Ripple suggests that they expect those 3 to generate 3,000 kilowatt hours each year. Kirk Hill, almost 1,100. Whitelaw Bray, 1,500, almost 1,600. And Derryl Water, 340. To get that amount of wattage, the investment that we've put in is a significant amount. So it's just over £2,100. I've done that kind of monthly over several years, so it's not really. And I think I'm still paying for the Whitelaw Bray one, but it's been spread out over several years, so it's not been a big chunk for us. But the Kirk Hill investment for 343 watts was £642.72. Why have I aimed for 3,000-ish? Well, I think in the last couple of years with our heat pump, we've used about 5,200 kilowatt hours of electricity. I've told Ripple that we'll use about 6,000, so I'm aiming for about 50% of our electricity use. So in terms of savings, they estimate certain things. So first year at Kirk Hill, the rate that we save per kilowatt hour of generation is not actually that huge. So 3.2 pence per kilowatt hour, they think we'll get around £35. In the future, that'll go up. It does look like Whitelaw Bray will be higher savings. Maybe the cost of development was lower, or it was bigger wind farm or something like that. I'm not sure why more. And then similarly, Derryl Water will be bigger savings for the first year, but similar going forward. So it won't really be until Whitelaw Bray comes online that we'll notice big savings, but we should start to see some from Kirk Hill. So where is Kirk Hill? And my 343 watts just south of Ayr in the west of Scotland. I've been on holiday to Newton Stewart and to Arran, so it's fun that it's there. Maybe one day we'll go visit. Whitelaw Bray is a bit more in the borders, I guess. So south of Edinburgh, Glasgow, just north of Lockerbie. Not the borders really. It's proper Scotland. And then Derryl Water is kind of Devon, Cornwall. Don't know that part of the world at all, but my sister lives not too far away, so maybe one day we'll go visit that as well. Okay, so that's what we've bought. And as I say, Kirk Hill's the only one that's operating so far. So how's it performed for this first? It's been generating for us since June. So June, July, August, September, and 2/3 of October. So for the whole site, it says it's generating 9 megawatts at the moment with an average wind speed of 20 miles an hour. That's kind of amazing. So Ripple Energy cooperative members, we're generating 9 megawatts of power, which is really cool. And my part of that is tiny 170 watts at the moment. So that gives you some insight. 170 watts, what's that? It's very little, but really, you can imagine an old 100-watt bulb, 2 of those. It's not a huge amount of electricity. And I guess the key thing is that it all adds up. So let's have a look how we're doing so far this month. It's the 21st of October today. So yesterday was a really windy day around the UK. and it says it generated for us 5 kilowatt hours of electricity. The biggest one in October, almost 7 kilowatt hours of electricity. And if we go back to other months, we've kind of got similar peaks on windy days. Some days it didn't really generate anything, which is a shame. August, again, peak of just over 6 kilowatt hours. July looked like it was pretty still. Peaks of less than or just over 5. And the first month, again, not that big. So if we go for the whole year, let's look at savings for the whole year so far. So obviously, we started generating in June, 65 kilowatt hours in June, 42 in July, 91 in August, 68 in September, and 62 so far in October. So we've generated 329 kilowatt hours, which has given us a total savings of just over £10, which is not a lot, let's be honest. If we go back to the Home tab, it gives a bit more of a summary. So this month, it thinks we've saved around £2, generated just over 60 kilowatt hours, and the whole lifetime, so since June, £10.50, 330 kilowatt hours. And the carbon savings, great. Not loads to write home about, but great. So we can also put, because it's linked to Octopus, we can also put our daily energy usage on the same graph as our generation. So yeah, Kirk Hill is not going to generate anywhere near what we use, particularly as we go into winter. But you know what? It's contributing a little bit. And if we generated 62 kilowatt hours and we've used 327, it's almost 20% of our electricity this month has come from a wind turbine that we helped construct, which is really great. So £2 savings so far in October, £2-ish in September. August, almost £3. And actually, we were generating a little bit more than what we were using at times during August. £1.36 in July. And again, some more generation than what we were using in June. So what was my investment for Kirk Hill? £642. And in the 4.5 months, June, July, August, September and a half, we have saved just over £10. So I think that's actually a little bit lower than you might expect. So that's saving on average per month of £2.26. Over a whole year, that would be £27 bill savings. Ripple suggested that we'd be saving just under 35. So I guess that probably means that the summer is less windy and we might have more wind over winter, but we'll have to see. At the moment, at £27 per year, this investment would pay for itself in 24 years. So a payback of 24 years, which, is not a good investment. So I'm hoping it gets a little bit windier, particularly around that wind farm. And then actually, as we get into the second year of generation, where we estimate that we'll have a higher savings rate per kilowatt hour of electricity generated, then things will start to accelerate a little bit. But I think it's kind of, I wanted to kind of share this to give a little bit of context as to what really we're getting from a Ripple investment. This is not huge money. It's not saving us loads of money on our electricity, but at the moment we're only meeting 20% of our electricity needs. When we're up at near 50%, then our savings will be that little bit better. And if you'd have gone to 100 or 120%, then you can imagine that your savings would be much, much higher. Okay, last thing to point out, so far this year, 4,258 kilowatt hours is what we've used. And because we started generating 4.5 months ago, we've generated 330 kilowatt hours. It'd be great to see the whole 12 months and to see this graph with all our generation at some point. in 18 months' time, I guess. So the two other projects that I've joined are the Whitelaw Bray wind farm, and obviously started investing in that in April, and will start generating in 2 years' time. So it's a long way away before we start to get savings from that. And the Derry Water one started, purchased some stuff in April, May 2023. And it looks like it might start generating in the next 6 months, which would be great. So Derry Water is another 6% of our electricity needs, will be maybe just over a quarter of our electricity demand, annual electricity demand generated at these two sites when that comes online. So maybe about 1,500 kilowatt hours a year. Okay. I hope that was helpful to see the dashboard. I guess a couple of things to add. If the winter is windier, then that's great for us with a heat pump. And with another wind turbine project to come in the future, because we use a load more electricity in the winter. And if the proportion of our savings is skewed that way, then it would help us when our costs are highest. Our second project that we've invested in is the one at Derry Water, so a solar farm. We don't have a huge amount of power bought there, but generation in the summer from a solar farm will spread out our generation. So if it's windy in the winter, sunny in the summer, it will spread out our generation a little bit. And we are currently looking at a second-hand EV, so our electricity usage may change going forward. It may increase. So whatever savings we can get from Ripple would be really welcome for us. And then I guess some context as to what 3 or 4 pence savings gives us compared to our current costs. So since the turbine has started generating, our average cost on Octopus Agile has been 17.2 pence per kilowatt hour. So taking 3p off that for the 330 kilowatt hours we generated means that our costs on a heat pump for that portion of electricity would be 14 pence per kilowatt hour. And as more of our generation comes online, you can start to see what impact really that Ripple would have on making heat pumps really cheap to run. But we have invested a good chunk of money already, and I'll be honest, we're not seeing massive returns just yet. So we're here for the ride, and we shall see.